Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to come to the first ever Amazon Alexa VoxCon. It's so exciting to see all the excitement around voice and all the things you all are doing to make AI be truly pervasive and change lives of our customers and human mankind as we know it. Thank you so much to be here. So let me start first with the fact that how did we think of Alexa? Our inspiration was clearly the Star Trek computer. That was the iconic image of Captain Kirk standing in front of his, in the center of the spaceship and talking to a machine which was just in the ambient. No touch, no buttons, just speak naturally. Amazing, simple experience. And we were inspired by that exact experience to bring that to real world in the form of Amazon Alexa and the Echo device as we know it. Now, ambient computing is pervasive. It's powered by conversational artificial intelligence as we know it. There are a deluge of devices that use Alexa or have Alexa built in. There's 100+ device types that we in this room together have worked on that have Alexa, and customers are interacting with Alexa many billions of times. We also have, along with Alexa, we simplified what we thought was super hard, which was controlling smart devices that were getting connected either through Wi-Fi or other means, and they were still hard to control because you had to either open an app, swipe right, bring up some app of your own favorite kind, which was to control your lights, let's say, click a button, and then it turns on. Now with Alexa, all you have to do is say, turn on the lights, and your Philips Hue light, for instance, can turn on. So we now have 60,000+ devices, 7,000 brands that are compatible with Alexa, and you can control seamlessly with voice. What's also happening is Alexa is becoming more and more ubiquitous. We have Alexa available now in 80+ countries. It speaks now 15 language variants. Today we just announced Hindi, and you'll learn more about that. And with that, what's happening is Alexa is really having a native experience in the country where she's present. Millions and millions of customers are interacting with Alexa in the language they prefer. When we launched Alexa, we knew customers would love it, but we also knew that it would be hard to add all functionalities that customers will want all by ourselves. So what we did then, to make sure Alexa is magical for our customers and available everywhere, we started to have 3 different APIs, essentially. One is the Alexa voice service and apps. Along with that, you can easily integrate Alexa in your own device. The second is a bunch of products with domain kits like a smart home kit or a lighting kit that you can integrate easily a new device, let's say a light, for instance. Or the third part, which is the Alexa skills kit, which let's say you want, if you were a Domino's, a pizza ordering, for instance, or another skill that you have already an existing service, and you want it to be discoverable on Alexa, you could build a skill through Alexa Skills Kit, all in a self-serve manner without anyone holding your hands. And we wanted to make skill development as easy as possible. And that's happened with Alexa Skills Kit, and it's truly democratized conversational AI as we know it. With that democratization, we are seeing the number of skills and the functionalities that our customers can use grow at a real fast pace. Now we have 90,000 skills worldwide, right? And all this was made possible because we had to make each of the components that Alexa uses be easy for developers to either integrate or customize. And this is a just brief overview where we have how Alexa works. So you have wake word to detect what audio is being spoken. So first to see whether somebody is addressing Alexa. Then automatic speech recognition turns speech into text. And even if once you have recognized the words, you have to still interpret them. That's the task of natural language understanding. And then you have to decide, based on the natural language understanding, what should Alexa do, either call a skill or control a device, and also give an output back, which is through text-to-speech, which converts the text Alexa needs to speak back into audio. So what are customers telling about Alexa? As you can see on this slide, everyone loves Alexa. If you wanted to meditate, you have a skill for meditation. Kids can actually use Alexa without spending time on their smartphone and using their eyes or hands when they should be really just learning. That has been enabled. You can just call someone easily with Alexa. You can consume any content of any type without holding any buttons or another device when you're busy. This is what voice makes possible. How do customers use Alexa? Essentially, I think of there's a skill for every moment. So if you take a typical customer's life, you can imagine your day starts with your morning alarm. You actually do some meditation, or you listen to weather reports or traffic reports so that you decide when you want to get leave for your work. And in the dinner time, you're looking at what to cook. And setting a timer for your biryani, which would take a lot of time to make, is something that you would like Alexa to help with, or that recipe you want. So this is the way, if you think about all the things we do in our daily lives, what Alexa doing is simplifying all your activities. And that's made possible, again, with people in this room who are building on Alexa. So this brought us this far. So where's AI and us in Alexa headed? And we think of them as 4 pillars of trust, self-learning, context-aware, and natural. And I'll spend a few minutes talking about those. So trust, first of all, customer trust is paramount to us. From the very get-go, we have given customers control over their data and have been fully transparent because we do want transparency as a tenet. And I'll give you a brief example of that. If you look at an Echo device, it has clear indicators of when it's streaming to the cloud. You also have a button in terms of the control. You can mute the device whenever you want. And when we launched devices which had camera or a screen, we also gave the control with the same mute button that you can actually disable the camera as well. On transparency, everything Alexa has heard and stored in terms of your audio utterances, you can go and look at them in the Privacy Hub and delete them anytime. And now, we have made it even simple to delete by simply saying voice. With your voice, you can say, Alexa, delete what I said today. So we have eliminated the friction of going to the application or the website, where now you can simply speak to Alexa, the most natural way to interact, and that's helping you with actually even deleting utterances you weren't comfortable with. Another aspect is opt-out. In terms of more transparency and control, again, we have given customers more control. If you don't want your data to be used to improve Alexa as a service, either for new features or improving existing services, you can opt out of any form of human review of your data. That, again, is control in your hands. But trust also comes from how Alexa behaves. And from that aspect, Alexa's accuracy is super important for gaining customer trust. When you ask Alexa to play a certain song, and you've been very specific, it should play that right version of the song. If you tell Alexa to turn on and off your light, and it doesn't understand that, that's super frustrating, and you will lose trust with the device. So what we have done here to increase the trust people have in Alexa is also to make it more competent. Over the last 12 months, we have made Alexa be more accurate by at least 20% in every locale Alexa is available to. In fact, in Indian English, this number is close to 50%, which is amazing for something that's been out there only for 2 years, and we have been continually improving it. This is a testimony to all the team members who are here, and so thank you for all your hard work in this area. Another sign of intelligence is we as humans do a lot of self-learning with our experience. We want an AI to behave the same way. So one of the things we have invented here is that Alexa can learn from customer feedback directly. Let's take this example of where you say, if you had kids who are young, this is a common request where Alexa says, the kid will say to Alexa, Alexa, play the ABC song. And Alexa would fail. And then someone like me, I've done this, I would go and say, no, Alexa, play the alphabet song, because I know that's what Alexa understood then. Once I've spoken that, Alexa now has the intelligence that maybe the previous request, if she has seen many of these patterns, was really about the same request. So ABC song is equivalent to alphabet song semantically. It makes that judgment without any human manual supervision. And this, I think, is transformational in terms of making sure that Alexa can be a fast learner and not repeat the same mistakes over and over again, yet another way of gaining customer trust. So self-learning is a transformational change, and we want more AIs to function this way, and Alexa is clearly leading the ship here. The other part about intelligence is that intelligence is very contextual. We want our AIs to be very context-aware. Let's take this example, for instance. If I say, Alexa, what's the weather like in Delhi? Alexa will give an answer. Then I may say, Alexa, how about tomorrow? Notice that the second utterance has no notion that it's a weather request. Taken in isolation, you cannot understand what this request is about. What we have done here is, instead of authoring a ton of rules saying, if you heard some entity like this, because there's no pronoun here, so you can't say what's it about in the previous utterance, so you have to again use machine learning past the context that Alexa has learned on the previous utterance, make a decision that does the current utterance really require the interpretation from the previous one, merge the two logic, and produce an answer which will give you the answer of what's the temperature in Delhi tomorrow. Again, here, no rules, no human in the loop in terms of saying, here's how you should learn about context. A machine-learned, deep learning-based model, which is the long short-term memory, takes this short-term memory and makes it be integrated into the current utterance so that Alexa can give a contextually relevant answer. This we think of as a contextual carryover, which is, you can think of as a short-term memory when someone is interacting with Alexa within a session. Another important one, this is best illustrated with a video. Let me play this. This is a feature that's launched in the US, and let me show how it works.
Rough day. What's for dinner? Shh. Alexa, open Domino's.
Hi, welcome to Domino's. Would you like to place an order or track an order?
So this is where the person whispered and Alexa whispered back. That's how we as humans behave, and now we have the AI behaving the same way. If you have a young baby, this is a magical feature. Sometimes I come home late, I don't want to wake up my family members, and I don't want to find my smart home, which I left downstairs. A heavily used feature. Simple idea, but really hard to implement in a distant speech recognition device where there could be some noise events. Also, the fact that you're speaking with a different prosodic pattern, it needs to recognize that it's not just by volume you tell it's a whisper, it's how you're making your emphasis in how you speak. And now you're applying that context to decide whether or not I should whisper back. And again, notice it has to be really high accuracy to make sure Alexa doesn't whisper when it shouldn't, and it should whisper when it should. Another one where it's truly taking context beyond words. Everything I spoke on terms of the contextual carryover, where you ask for weather in Delhi and how about tomorrow, that was very much related to discourse context, as where the words sort of give the meaning. Here, the idea is, can Alexa now take that kind of capability but apply to other events? One of the things is audio events, and let me show what I mean by that. When you have, well, let's say you're in your house, you're leaving, and you wanted Alexa to tell you about some intruder. In the US, glass breaking is a good indicator, and Alexa now has the knowledge of listening for glass breaking events when you're out. You can opt into this feature. And again, a neural network decides whether or not a glass-breaking event is happening. That's a very rare event. So it again needs to be very precise and not wake you every time you're out and say, oh, there's a glass-breaking event. So again, machine learning solving a real hard problem. And we already have another audio event that we can detect, which is a smoke alarm going out. But this is an illustration of how AI is now going beyond words in the context of Alexa and making it more useful to keep your home safe. Naturalness is key for an AI. Alexa has to be natural in terms of how we as humans interact with machine. And with a voice-based interface, it becomes, in certain situations, it needs to be human-like. But we think of naturalness to have many dimensions. It should be natural to discover, natural to understand, natural to sound, and natural to converse. And I'll talk about them, each of them separately now. So first, this is a classic example. We have 90,000 skills available on Alexa and in the skills store. But if you, as a user, you have to remember the name of the skill, then it will become very hard for customers to discover what functionality Alexa has and use it when they need them. So what we have done is simplifies that when you say, Alexa, book a cab, Alexa will work, rather than you have to specify, Alexa, ask Ola to book a cab, or Alexa, ask Uber to book a cab. And the way this works is that when you give this request, we dynamically figure out which are the most likely skills that could answer this query, get some feedback from these skills, take the personal preferences into account. For instance, someone may prefer an Uber over an Ola, or vice versa. All of that then goes into a decision-making at the end. And then we determine which is the best skill to surface to the customer and fulfill the request. Another one for naturalness, if you were using the shopping list feature or any list feature, you had to speak all the time, Alexa, add peanut butter, Alexa, add strawberries, Alexa, add haldi. But we have simplified that. You can now issue all these items, which you were individually making Alexa understand to populate your list. You can just speak them in one shot. Alexa, add apples, peanut butter, and jam to my shopping list. Another one, sometimes you want to give multiple commands in one shot. And this is an example where we have made it like play a particular song and turn off the stage lights, for instance, or turn off the bedroom lights. That can work as well. Again, more natural to issue multiple intents in one shot. As we are going to the natural dimension, this is where Alexa is great at completing transactions. If you ask to play music, if you specify the music, Alexa is very good at getting you that particular song. If you ask to control your lights, it can complete those commands. But we as humans, when we interact with machines, either on the web or with Alexa, often our goals are unclear or not specified fully. If I said, Alexa, what's the weather in Agra? I'm in Delhi. Why am I asking for weather in Agra? I may have a latent goal that I haven't expressed right now. So what we have done recently is made Alexa anticipate a customer's latent goals. This is very early days, but at Remars, we showed this particular capability where we can make it very easy for Alexa to plan a night out for you, when your first utterance could be simply, Alexa, what movies are playing nearby? And Alexa then tells you the movies that are playing by. You can use another skill to purchase the movie tickets. And then Alexa could suggest for you that, hey, you booked a movie ticket, and now maybe near the theater you may want to book a restaurant to have dinner and get a table there. And notice if you were interacting discretely with each of these skills independently, then you have to repeat the same information over and over again. The number of people in your party, what time you're going, which location. That would be so much friction and so much repetition. And with this capability, which we call Alexa Conversations, Alexa can help you seamlessly complete this night out experience by proactively helping you and getting you that next relevant skill. And now we are actually we are testing this experience in the US. It's still early days, but I'm very optimistic about what we can do here for simplifying daily lives of our customers by making Alexa more conversational, not for chatting purposes, but for actually completing more latent goals. The last part of naturalness is how Alexa sounds. Let me play
Playing
this.
Nile Nile Ambar Par by Kishore Kumar.
If you're in India, that is definitely not natural. It's not authentic. Let me play the next version, which is how Alexa sounds.
Playing Neele Neele Ambar Par by Kishore Kumar.
Clearly, much more clear, much more authentic, much more Indian. This is exactly what you want with your text-to-speech capability. And here, we are making more advances, which you'll hear in Prem's portion of this talk, where we are using neural deep learning-based techniques, again, to make Alexa be more natural by modeling the context within the utterances in a more principled manner, and then have the most natural speech possible. So, today we took a major step in making Alexa more Indian with the launch of Hindi. Dilip also talked about how we have already 500 skills and the new devices that through Alexa voice service are going to bring more Hindi and localized experience to Indian customers. But this is just a beginning. We in Amazon say it's day one, and India is a great illustration of what's happening in AI in India. It feels like day one, but I'm so excited to work with each of you who have shown up here that I believe we can bring this better future to India with AI playing a key role. So thank you so much for coming. Hope you have a great WoxCon. Welcome again. Thank you.